Sit around a table, any table, and ask the room this question. How do you feel about Vice President Kamala Harris? You're likely to get a similar kind of answer across the board. I don't like her. She's unlikable. Or my question, where's Kamala? But I thought to myself, why is Kamala Harris so unlikable? Because her unlikability is, in fact, indisputable. But there are real reasons behind this phenomenon. Look no further than the simple fact that she was forced to drop out of the presidential race even before a single vote was cast in the Democrat primaries. It took all of 2 minutes, possibly even less, for Tulsi Gabbard to end Kamala's presidential dreams. Here's a piece of that brutal takedown.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
Well, that's right. Kamala Harris locked up people for marijuana law violations while laughing about it when asked about consuming marijuana herself. And here's that unbelievable moment.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
And I inhale. I did inhale.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. But yes.
I know you have to go. They say you have to go. I just wanted to
I
ask.
just broke news.
I mean, was it in college?
So when you smoke, you go to jail. When I smoke, I laugh about it. There's that laugh again. Grating, isn't it? But perhaps it was so easy for her because Gabbard merely confirmed the deep-seated suspicions the Democrat voter base already harbored for the senator from California. And when asked about Tulsi Gabbard's takedown on CNN, listen to what Kamala had to say.
Well, I mean, listen, this is going to sound immodest, but I'm obviously a top-tier candidate, and so I did expect that I would be on the stage and take hits tonight because there are a lot of people that are trying to make the stage for the next debate.
Yeah, for a lot of them, it's do or die.
Well, yeah, and especially when people are at 0 or 1% or whatever she might be at.
Woo! Ouch, Kamala. And yes, it does sound immodest of you, as you say, but it also sounds petty and kind of wrong, considering pretty much after that you had to leave the race yourself, didn't you? So Tulsi, even with her 0% or whatever you called it, in all your petty glory, she took you down pretty handily, I might say. You see, the very early days of the presidential race quickly revealed the nature of the public image Kamala Harris has painstakingly built over the years. Not a good one, by the way. But as if that wasn't enough to make Cammy so unlikable, what else could it be? Could it be the incessant, awkward, and unfettered laughter that comes out every time she gets asked an important question?
Okay.
A fake laugh. Or this. Remember her debate with then Vice President Mike Pence? Pence's demeanor was the exact opposite of what Kamala was serving up. He was polite, cordial. Harris was condescension and pettiness personified. Going into that debate, the mainstream media hyped her up, saying that VP Pence was about to endure a takedown from Kamala. Of course they did, which must be what fueled her performance in obnoxious moments like this one.
Because the president wanted people to remain calm.
Well, let's get
No, but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I want to
have to
add,
weigh
but
in
if, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh in.
speaking.
Woo! And when Pence questioned her record in public service, which, by the way, is completely normal in such a debate, her response was an incoherent rebuttal.
I will not sit here and be lectured by the Vice President on what it means to enforce the laws of our country. I am the only one on this stage who has personally prosecuted everything from child sexual assault to homicide.
Well, it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you fall on. The fact is she's one of the most disliked politicians on the scene, and yet Joe Biden tapped her to run with him on his ticket as vice president. No secret as to why. How else do you think he managed to get the progressive left behind him? But still, regardless, it's a bit surprising that he agreed to put her in, considering moments like this when they ran against each other.
So that's where the federal government must step in. That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there are moments in history where states fail to preserve the civil rights of all people.
I have supported the ERA from the very beginning when I ran for the
30 seconds.
What if they do that in the White House? But all of that was before she even became vice president. Since then, she's only added to the list of reasons not to like her. When asked about referring to inflation as transitory, her horrendous, embarrassing answer said it all and had her stumbling before pivoting support for the Build Back Better plan, whatever that was. But of course, that so far failed plan that offers no real short-term solutions for Americans hurting from Biden's inflation. And then this moment, this shameful, ridiculous moment when on the one-year anniversary of January 6th, she disrespected so many Americans and shamelessly said this.
When our democracy came under assault. Dates that occupy not only a place on our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941. September 11th, 2001. And January 6th, 2021.
Wow, wow, wow. How dare she? How shameful that moment was, and how disrespectful to so many Americans who lost their lives. And let's not forget what was supposed to be one of the most important and vital roles for this administration, dealing with one of the biggest immigration crises ever, the so-called border czar. Record border crossings and crime, tons of drugs coming across from cartels, children locked in cages. I know she's counting us all to forget all of those images from the past year, but we can't and we won't forget. What has she even done? Was she even given that obviously fake role in March of last year? For what reason? So nearly a year ago. And what has she done? Where's Kamala? We had Texas Governor Greg Abbott on the show just yesterday to talk about that very thing. Governor Abbott dealing with this issue every day, having to take matters into his own hands to protect his state from what's happening. And I asked him if Kamala Harris, border czar, has even reached out. Here's what he said. Has she been to the border? Has she contacted you, the most important person in Texas, to talk about it?
So Kamala Harris has never contacted me. President Biden has never contacted me about the border. As you pointed out, the border is one of the most consequential issues in the United States of America.
Yep. So still not sure why she's unlikable. NBC's Lester Holt asked her in earnest about going to the border. Remember this?
Okay. Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
I don't understand the answer that you're making. Well, Kamala, the point he's making is that you really had one job to do. You're made border czar. You made up although, but that was the one moment, and she's done nothing with it, and she knows it. And we certainly know, we know it, Americans know it. Look at this. The latest poll from The Economist and YouGov puts numbers to it, and numbers don't lie, folks. In the poll conducted from January 22nd to January 25th, so just last week, Kamala Harris has unfavorable ratings of 55%. That's massive, unlikable. Why? Well, as if many examples so far aren't enough, let me just leave you with this moment right here.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlemagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president. It's Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
All right, that's right, Charlemagne. Don't even joke about it. Her name is Kamala Harris. She's unlikable. And let's hope her climb of the political ladder ends right there.